Here's how we raise our treads up to the flex plate. Alrighty, there she is in all of her glory. Practically brand new. It only had 1,100 miles on it. So, welcome back to the channel, folks. Now we're going to install the 90. So we're going to reverse everything you just saw and pulling out the 70 and putting in the 90. And we're gonna do we got the cross member, the bracket, the drive shaft, and the transmission. Those are the 4 things you need. I'll put that again up here, like I did in the initial video. The pulling out of the 70 video, I put the list of stuff. I'll put the list of stuff again, and the part number for the bracket that you need for the 90 to fit in your Scat Pack or your 5.7. So, Mike, let's go.
Let's do it. Take
right.
these lines
What are we prepping?
We're gonna these lines here.
All right, so these are the lines the guy left in there. He just crimped them at the end. He left the fluid in here, but we're gonna check it anyway. And that gets into part of the tuning stuff. So we'll get into that once we get this in, everything's situated, and I get a hold of Dave and make sure we're ready to get everything done before, because what you have to do is you have to go take your car back to stock, and then I got to remarry, which when you take your car back to stock, the T2 unmarries from your car, so then I got to marry it back to the car and send him the stock TCM file from this transmission, from the 90. So that's a quick down and dirty about the about the tuning thing. But we're just gonna pry these things and get them out of the way. Little bit of fluid dripping out of there. We're gonna push her right back up in here. So flex plate and all of that is exactly the same. So you don't have to get a new flex plate. Oh, he's prepping by putting something in here. Oh, he's putting the little lock rings in there.
Yeah, make it a little easier when we install them.
So then all you got to do is stuff them in there. So there's the part number of the torque converter. Pretty sure, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that's the Demon torque converter that comes in the Redeye. Pretty sure. But y'all can check that number. I may check it later. But anyway, we're gonna get this thing installed. And then I got a little bonus install for you too. Though you've already seen it once. I got some Hellcat Redeye axles to replace mine, because I think mine are going bad. And there's a long story why I think they're going bad, but that's for another day. You can go back and watch the old axle install videos, and that'll tell you why I think these ones aren't so good anymore. So that's why I went and got another set. But here we go. Here's how we raise our trans, raise our treads, raise our treads. Here's how we raise our treads up to the flex plate.
Don't skip leg day. Don't skip leg day.
Look at them legs, folks. Woo! Look at them calves. He's getting a workout today. Got to get her situated just right, because you don't want to be moving it around once you get it up in there.
We got our vent tube, we got to hook back up. Get her
There's the vent tube we were talking about in the when we took the 70 out. That's the vent tube we were talking about. So as you raise the transmission, you got to plug that back in. And everything else pretty much looks the same. There's the part number for the trans and the barcode, just in case you wanted to know what the barcode was for the trans. And there we go, folks. She is up and in there.
So that bracket tends to fall in between the trans and the flex plate, so you gotta reach your hand way up there, pull it out behind and get it on the outside of the bell housing.
Ah, so there's a plate up there that you got to get on the outside of the bell housing if you didn't hear them, and then keep pushing the trans back in. That looks pretty close. Looks like it was supposed to go there. So here's what's funny is one of these was actually on the back of my transmission too. Are they different?
I think, yeah, they are.
I got you.
But you can see this one, we're gonna have to swap them out. It's actually cracked in the front. So we'll swap that out with the one that you have on here. They're all HP70.
Okay, sounds like a plan. All right. Now it's just lining everything up and putting the bolts back in.
Yeah.
Getting the ground up there and things lined up and wires hooked up and the trans fluid lines hooked up. I'm not going to go through each and every one of those bolts. If you want to know where all those bolts are, go look at the video where we pulled out the 70. That shows you where all the bolts are at that you need to take out and what you need to do to get them out. So now that we got the trans up there, I'll show putting in the drive shaft and that as well. So we'll be back.
Tight plates.
All the tight plates. Time to get the stubby up in there. I got some bolt tightening stuff for you. Some ones all the way up to the top. Time to get that 9-foot extension out.
The guy comes in handy.
All right, there's some bolt tightening for you. We'll be back. So just for your edification and mine, I just wanted to try my 70 drive shaft just to see. And that's the difference. Literally half an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch. Not a big difference, but that's why you need another drive shaft, because it is a little bit shorter. Alrighty folks, in modern red Hemi fashion. Anyway, we'll get to the issue we ran into in a minute, but hey, there's the trans, there's the cross member, there's the front end of the drive shaft, all the way down to the center bearing, all the way down to the back, the hooks too. We'll get to that in a minute. Got new axles on both sides, and that's a new differential. So here's what happened, and it's probably a good thing that it happened here. Is I had already bought, like I said, I had already bought new axles for the car, and we were going to put them in, but the driver's side is 100% stuck in my old 309 diff. So that is a 262 diff out of a Redeye. So now, literally, I got an entire drive line of Redeye parts. They're Redeye axles, Redeye rear diff, Redeye drive shaft, Redeye transmission. Anyway, but yeah, so we got sidetracked with changing out the axles. I wasn't really going to put that in here, but now that we ran into an issue, and what we think the issue is the splines inside are twisted, so you can't. It's permanently stuck in there. We literally had an air jackhammer trying to get it out of there and couldn't get it out. So it's stuck in there 100%. But on the installation piece, we are 100% complete. We've got an entire Redeye drive line, at least the back half. Front half, maybe we'll look at doing that later, but no, just kidding. But hey, I appreciate y'all watching these videos, and Mike's doing his little thing. There's some more screw putting in stuff. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Oh, and I actually caught Mike using a torque wrench. So write that down on your calendar. But that's gonna do it for this one, folks. Appreciate y'all tuning in, watching these videos. These are probably two medium-ish long ones, but there's a lot to it. So in the next video, I'm gonna make a tuning video on what you gotta do from a tune perspective to get the transmission talking to the PCM, so you can go ahead and tune the car to get it to run. Because right now, as soon as you turn the car into run, the shifter blinks and tells you the car is not in park and whole 9 yards, just because it's a new transmission. So we're gonna get to that. That'll be the next video. But that's it for this one. Until next time, adios.